It's our hot and dry season here in the north of Thailand at the moment. Today it's about 36 degrees Celsius. It's the beginning of April and I think it's time to cut some bamboo culms. This time of the year when the rhizomes have had most of the moisture and most of the sugars sucked out of them by the bamboo, it's a good time to cut the bamboo because that means that the moisture and the sugars in the culms is largely depleted. So once the bamboo is cut, then the bugs are not going to be so attracted to it. I'm going to take a look for some nice straight culms, hopefully, even some bent ones that are no good that I'll be just getting rid of. But the nice straight ones, I'll be looking to use those to preserve and then to use them for building with. What I'm focused on is finding older culms, ones that are over 3 years old. So let's have a look to see how we can identify these ones and cut them, because these mature culms are better for using for construction or furniture or anything else really, because the wood is more mature, the bamboo is harder, and it will last longer and not shrink so much and not deteriorate nearly so quickly if it's older, rather than cutting culms that are only 1 or 2 years old. They're too young and they don't last well. There's a few different ways that you can tell how old your bamboo is, and these sheaths here are a good way to tell that the bamboo is still fairly young. The culm is not yet fully mature if it's got these sheaths that are still attached to the bottom of it. Another way to spot younger culms is they're usually coated in this white powdery substance, especially down the bottom. But if you've had some heavy weather or a lot of other foliage rubbing against it, it may not be there. Likewise with the sheaths around the base, a lot of the sheaths off our young culms aren't there, so I'll be carefully looking at the colour of the bamboo and looking for other signs. Here we've got an older culm and a younger culm close together, so you can see quite the difference there in the coloration. The white powder on the younger culm on the right, and then this culm on the left is quite a different colour. It's got the little splotches of some sort of fungus or lichen growing on it already, and this is a way to tell that this pole has been here for longer than a year or two. And looking at other culms in the same clump, they're of various ages, so you can just compare the colours and choose to cut the darker ones and the more splotchy looking culms. And as I'm looking at the different culms to cut, I'm also considering the younger shoots around them, the younger poles, and also that I don't want to thin out each clump too much, because if you take too much from one clump, it's going to inhibit the growth. So I'm going to take out a couple of these culms here. This thinner one is quite dark and quite blotchy. That must be an older piece. I'm guessing this here, by the colouring on it, is also older. And it's not as thick as some of the other newer, younger pieces are. You can see here, and there's a couple further back. So let's have a go and take this out. Here's Pee-Pee, our little pigeon friend who we've raised since she was young because she needed some help. And now we kind of get the idea that she's thinking she's a bit more like a person because she likes to spend most of her time indoors or close to us. I've cut 2 culms today and I'm going to leave those standing there for about a week just to encourage them to evaporate all of the sugars and all of the water out of them. Now I'm going to go and get a couple that I cut last week and trim them and cut them to size and then soak them in my borax and boric acid solution.